Hello everyone, this is Nitesh Sharma, a final year student of Dronacharya Group of Institution. Today I am going to represent my final year seminar project in front of you. My topic is cloud computing. So when you hear the term cloud computing, there are some basic questions may arise, such as what's the cloud? Where is the cloud? Are we in the cloud now? These all are questions you have probably heard or even asked yourself. The term cloud computing is everywhere. So first we are going to see the definition of cloud computing. In the simplest terms, cloud computing means storing and accessing data and programs over the internet instead of your computer's hard drive. In cloud networking, cloud computing is a phrase used to describe a variety of computing concepts that involve a large number of computers connecting through a real-time communication network such as the internet. So now let's see the another question which may arise in front of you, which is why it is called cloud. The cloud is just a metaphor for the internet. It goes back to the days of flowcharts and presentations that would represent the gigantic server farm infrastructure of internet as nothing but a puffy white cumulonimbus cloud accepting connections and doling out information as it floats. Now let's see the cloud computing services. Cloud computing provides offer their services according to several fundamental models. Software as service SaaS, platform as service PaaS, or infrastructure as service as, where IaaS is the most basic and each higher model abstracts from the details of the lower models. In 2002, Network as a Service NAS and Communication as a Service CAS were officially introduced by ITO International Telecommunication Union as part of the basic cloud computing models. Now let's see the first model of cloud computing. The first model of cloud computing is Infrastructure as a Service or IaaS. Infrastructure as a Service is a type of cloud computing service that offers essential compute, storage, and networking resources on demand on a pay as go basis. IaaS is one of the four types of cloud services, along with software as a service, platform as a service, and serverless. Infrastructure as a service is a way to rent storage, hardware, servers, and networking capacity over the internet. The service provider owns massive computer resources and is responsible for running and maintaining them. Meanwhile, the client needs only computer and internet connections to access these buttonless resources and typically pays for it on a per use basis. Now we will see the main features and components of IaaS. First, service oriented utility computing. Second, automation of administrative tasks. Third, unlimited resources. Fourth, on demand self service. Fifth, pay per use pricing. Seventh, desktop virtualization. And last, policy based services. Some common examples of infrastructure as a service are DigitalOcean, Linode, Rackspace, Amazon Web Services, or Microsoft Azure. Now we will see the second model of cloud computing, which is platform as a service or PaaS. Platform as a service gives a possibility to run, create, or test various applications by using providers' tool over the internet. The consumer has no rights to manage or control the underlying cloud infrastructure, but it is able to configure applications, hosting environment, and the installed application. Advantages of PaaS are possibility to change and upgrade the characteristics and components of operating system, easier collaboration with specialists all over the world, opportunity to use resources that are over the national borders without crossing it, overall cost reduction by minimizing the expenses of hardware and programming tools, incompatibility programs, and so on. As we know, with advantages, there comes disadvantages. So, disadvantages of PaaS are some providers may not allow moving developed software out of its platform because of security issues. Flexibility of this service may still be insufficient in meeting the needs of users whose requirements are constantly changing. Now we will see software as a service. Software as a service is the third model of cloud computing. Software as a service is a cloud computing model which hosts various software applications and makes them available to customers over the internet or other networks. There are two main software delivery models for SaaS, which are to give an online access to a single copy of an application or to host commercially available software and deliver it all over the internet. Now we will see the main advantages of SaaS model are no concern about software using, licensing, installing and maintaining, automatic updates and patch management, automation of administrative tasks, easier collaboration with other users. Everyone has the same version of software, World Wide Web. On the other hand, there are the disadvantages of SaaS. First of all, security issue. As data is stored on cloud, security becomes a major issue. Latency issue. Again, our data is stored in cloud far away from the user. It may take more transactional time as compared to the traditional approach. Total dependency on the internet. Relying on an internet connection means the data is transferred to and from a SaaS firm at internet speeds rather than the potentially higher speed of a firm's internal network. And switching between SaaS vendor is difficult. Switching SaaS vendor may involve the slow and difficult task of transferring very large data files over the internet. Here this chart differentiates between infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. This chart shows in these services which things are managed by you and which things are managed by the vendors. SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS are simply three ways to describe how you can use the cloud for your business. As includes cloud-based services, pay-as-go for services such as storage, networking, and virtualization. PaaS includes hardware and software tools available all over the internet, and SaaS includes software that available via third party over the internet. It is the deployment model of cloud computing. Here are five deployment models: controlled cloud, public cloud, private cloud, community cloud, and hybrid cloud. Now we will see each deployment model one by one. The first model is controlled cloud. Controlled cloud services are not just publicly available. Users are specifically authorized by services vendors. Access to the controlled cloud may be through the internet. However, connections would be encrypted. The cloud vendor employs various techniques and technologies to prevent unauthorized access. Use of services is governed by contracts and service level agreements which specify the responsibilities of the vendor and the responsibilities of the customer with regard to the data. The next deployment model is public cloud. A public cloud is a standard cloud computing model wherein a service provider manages storage and computing resources on behalf of consumer over the internet. Public cloud are run by third parties and application for the different users are shared on the provider's cloud servers, storage systems and networks. Benefits of public cloud includes ease on demand scalability as they are larger than a company's private cloud. Security concerns are shared resources are major target of attacks for hackers, target of a denial of service. For example, Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, IBM's Blue Cloud, Sun Cloud, Google App Engine, and Windows Azure Service Platform. The third deployment model is private cloud. The private cloud is also known as internal cloud or corporate cloud. Typically hosted on customer premises, provides hosted services to authorized user behind a company firewall. Company has control all over resources, data, security. The company owns the infrastructure and controls how applications are deployed on it. Benefits of going with private cloud is increased control and monitoring of resources, flexibility of customization, ability to recover from failure, and ability to scale up or down depending upon demand. Attracted criticism because users still have to buy, build, and manage them, and thus do not benefit from less hands-on management. Let's talk about community cloud. Community cloud shares infrastructure between several organizations from a specific community with common concerns, whether managed internally or by a third party and hosted internally or externally. The costs are spared over fewer users than a public cloud, so only some of the cost saving potential of the cloud computing are realized. Now we will see the hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud is the composition of two or more clouds. It may be private, community, or public. Remain unique entities but are bonded together, offering the benefits of multiple deployment model. Hybrid cloud give us the ability to connect, co-location, manage, or dedicate services with cloud resources. Companies able to obtain degree of fault tolerance combined with locally immediate usability without dependency on internet connectivity. It requires both on-premise resources and off-site remote server-based cloud infrastructure. It is the cloud computing sample architecture. Here we can see cloud services are connected with cloud infrastructure and cloud platform, whereas cloud platform is connected with cloud storage, which is also called database, where you can store your data. Some known cloud service providers are Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud Platform, Windows Azure, Rackspace, JustCloud.com, SugarSync, and SpiderOak. Now we will see the advantages of cloud computing. The first advantage of cloud computing is cost. Transforms capital expenditure from services into the operating expenses. Another advantage is multi-tenancy. Several customers share the same infrastructure. Scalability, on-demand provision of computing resources. Redundancy, redundancy of a sites is easier to implement. Accessibility, device and locations are independent. Maintenance, upgrade are applied centrally and done by IT experts. Cloud computing has disadvantage as well as. The first disadvantage of cloud computing is security, loss of control over sensitive data, dependency, tied to your cloud service provider, flexibility, special customization of computing resources may not be possible, cost, cost structure is becoming opaque, knowledge, most of the knowledge is concentrated at the cloud service provider, and last, integration, difficult integration with other equipment and systems. Conclusion for this presentation is, for it to be considered cloud computing, you need to access your data on your program all over the internet, or at the very least, have two data synchronized with the information yet. Like everything else, cloud computing too has its pros and cons. While the technology can prove to be a great asset to your company, it could also cause harm if not understood and used properly. Thank you everyone. This is all from my side.